Have you ever found yourself doubting your abilities despite evidence that you can do it? Has there been a time where you felt like you didn't deserve your success or your achievements? Do you agonize over even the smallest mistakes or flaws in your work? Have you ever downplayed your achievements and just attributed them to luck or external factors? Do you ever find yourself comparing your achievements to others and feeling like you don't measure up? Do you ever feel like you're winging it and you're just waiting for someone to realize that you aren't as competent as you say you are? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you might be dealing with imposter syndrome. Stick around and we're going to talk about it. It's your girl Sunnyinthe6 here, and I'm back with another episode of the Sunnyinthe6 podcast, and we are getting it together, okay? I'm still trying that out there. Let me know how you feel. So today we are exploring a phenomenon that affects millions worldwide, but it usually stays hidden in the shadows of our mind. It's not something that we really share or talk about. It's something that we struggle with internally, and that is imposter syndrome. When I started this podcast, even to this very day, I struggle with imposter syndrome when it comes to the Sunnyinthe6 podcast, which is crazy because, like, hello, it's about me. How can I be an imposter about my own self? Imposter syndrome looms around me, and it's something that I can definitely relate to, but I'm trying to work on getting over it. Like I mentioned in my other episodes, this podcast is about me working on myself and helping others work on themselves as well. So imposter syndrome is literally something that I am currently struggling with. So I decided, why the heck not do an episode about imposter syndrome? Not just for me, but for anyone else who's struggling with imposter syndrome as well. Most people don't even know that they're struggling with imposter syndrome. They don't even know what imposter syndrome is. I tend to question if I am smart enough, if I have enough charisma, or if I'm even interesting enough to build an audience here on this platform. But through vulnerability and not giving up, I've come to realize that authenticity and relatability can resonate so much more than perfection ever could. So that's why I keep showing up. I'm not perfect. Listen, the amount of times that I said, you know what? I even said it on the podcast. F this podcast. No one cares. But no. First of all, I care. Okay? First and foremost, it's about me. And second of all, I know, even if I'm helping one person, that's enough for me. I ain't stressed about it. I get 20 views, I get 500 views. I don't care. 2 people listen, 100 people listen. Either way, I just want to help. So let's get into it. Another way that I struggle with imposter syndrome is when it comes to motherhood. And I'm sure many other mothers as well struggle with this. Literally, from the moment a child is born, mothers are bombarded with societal expectations, leaving many moms feeling like they're not deserving of the title mom. As a mother myself, I've experienced moments of doubt and insecurity, wondering if I'm doing it right, wondering if I'm doing enough, wondering if I'm enough. But what I've come to realize, motherhood is not about perfection, okay? It's about love. It's about embracing your challenges, embracing your mistakes and learning from them, having resilience and being able to grow through being a mother. Listen, I've been a mother since I was 16 years old. I was not doing it right at first. But that's okay. I was a mother at 16 and I was a mother at 20 something. I can't do the math right. 28. Okay. I was a mother at 16 and a mother at 28. And I was 2 different people, you know? So it's about embracing the imperfections and learning, growing, being resilient, and not beating yourself up. Be gentle with yourself as a mother and kick that imposter syndrome out the door. I need to stop swearing so I can edit less on these episodes. Kick that imposter syndrome's little tushy out the door, okay? So, what is imposter syndrome? Well, at its core, it's a psychological pattern where people tend to doubt their skills or accomplishments, causing them to have an irrational fear of being exposed as a fraud or a phony. It's kind of like wearing a mask of confidence and feeling like a fraud underneath, if you know what I mean. While imposter syndrome is very common and can occur across any age group, gender, profession, or racial demographic, it has been found that people from minority groups are more likely to experience it due to racism, social stigmas, and microaggressions. Let's talk about what are some symptoms of imposter syndrome. So some can be psychological distress, anxiety, depression, burnout, exhaustion, avoidance of high level or demanding tasks. And this one's a big one: dismissal of positive feedback or not being able to accept constructive criticism. Have you ever told someone that they did so good at something, they're like, no, I tried my best. Like, shut up. You killed that. No, like, oh girl, you killing it. You lost weight. You looking so good. I'm trying. Nah, yes, thank you. Yes, I am. That's what we should be saying, okay? But yes, those are some symptoms that one can have when they're suffering from imposter syndrome. According to the researcher, Dr. Valerie Young, there are 5 imposter types, okay? We're going to go over them so you can figure out which type you are. The first type of imposter is the perfectionist. So this type of imposter involves believing that unless you're absolutely perfect, you could have done better. You feel like an imposter because your perfectionist traits make you believe that you're not as good as everyone thinks you are, even though you are. The second type of imposter is the expert. So the expert feels like an imposter because they don't know everything there is to know about a particular subject. So, you know what? I'm not even going to try to act like I have these memorized. I'm going to read these, okay? Like, bro, why do I do this to myself? Why do we make life hard? The key is to make life easy, okay? I'm going to let y'all know. I'm going to read these, okay? So the expert feels like an imposter because they don't know everything there is to possibly know about a certain subject. Hello, none of us do. Or they haven't mastered every step in a process because there is more for them to learn. They don't feel as if they've reached the rank of expert. The third type of imposter is the natural genius. In this imposter syndrome type, you may feel like a fraud simply because you don't believe that you are naturally intelligent or competent. If you don't get things right the first time, or it takes you longer to master a skill, you feel like an imposter. The fourth type of imposter is the soloist. It's also possible to feel like an imposter because you had to ask for help to reach a certain status or a certain level. Since you couldn't get there on your own, you might question your own competence or abilities. And number 5, the super person. This type of imposter syndrome involves believing that you must be the hardest worker and reach the highest level of achievements possible. And if you don't, you're a fraud. So which one are you? Are you the perfectionist, the expert, the natural genius, the soloist, or the super person? Drop it in the comments below. Next, I'm going to get into some causes and triggers of imposter syndrome. Researchers say that upbringing and family dynamics can play a huge role in imposter syndrome. Specifically, parenting styles like being too strict or overprotective can definitely aid in the development of imposter syndrome in children. So if you are a strict mom, or if you are a overprotective mom or dad, maybe think about how you can reframe the way that you speak to your children so they don't develop this terrible syndrome. That reminds me. What is that girl? What what she did? What Jennifer did? Was it Jennifer? The girl from Markham. Okay? Jennifer Pan. Okay? Let me get into a little bit. If you guys never heard about Jennifer Pan, it's a series on Netflix called What Jennifer Did. Okay? Jennifer's parents were so strict, so overprotective, so not allowing her to do anything. Saying that she has to be a doctor, she can't do what she wants, she can't be with her boyfriend because he's a bum and a drug dealer. I mean, not, mind you, these things are not terrible, except when you do it so hard, you can cause like literal mental issues. Jennifer killed her parents, okay? Killed them because they were so strict. She lost it. She definitely had imposter syndrome. Not only did she kill her parents, but she lied about going to college, made fake like graduation papers, and hired some dudes to run up in her house and kill her parents. And then she lied in I think 3 or 4 interviews to the police. Like, she was crazy. She was going through it. Okay? Jennifer Pan. So if you don't want your kids to grow up and you, don't be overprotective. Dude, anyways, family upbringing can have a huge role in imposter syndrome. So don't put that on your kids. I mean, I'm not saying let your kids do whatever they want, because look how I ended up. But but I am saying ease up a little. Let kids be kids. Let them have a little say in their future. Guide them in the right way, but don't make them feel like it's do or die, because it's definitely not. Okay, so another cause or trigger of imposter syndrome can be new work or school opportunities. Have you ever got a new job and like you kind of fudged your resume a little bit, like, oh, I can do this, but like you can't? And then when you get there, like you just figure it out, and then you do it, and then you on it, but like you always have that like fear in the back of your head that's like, damn, like what if one day they ask me to do something and I just can't figure it out? When realistically, you know, if they ask you to do anything, you gonna figure that shit out. Okay, that's why you lied on your resume. Okay, you got it. Imposter syndrome appears to be more common when people are going through transitions and trying new things. The pressure to achieve, succeed, combined with lack of experience, can trigger feelings of inadequacy in these new roles and settings. Also, a third trigger or cause can be personality. Some people just have certain personality traits that make it more common for them to have imposter syndrome. The first one would be low self-efficiency. So self-efficiency refers to your belief in your ability to succeed in any given situation. So if you're one of those people who are always like, oh, I could never do that, like, oh my gosh, you gonna be a victim of imposter syndrome. I'm just joking. But like I'm just trying to explain the personality trait. The second personality trait is perfectionism. If you are a perfectionist naturally, like by heart, you have slight OCD and like everything has to be perfect, that is a personality trait that can definitely cause you to be triggered by imposter syndrome. Another trigger of imposter syndrome can be social anxiety. This is a big one. Imposter syndrome and social anxiety may overlap. So a person with social anxiety disorder may feel as if they don't belong in social or professional situations, for instance. You might be in a conversation with someone and feel like they're going to discover your social incompetence. Or you may be delivering a presentation and feel as if you just need to get through it before anyone realizes that you're winging it. I've done that. So while symptoms of social anxiety can fuel imposter syndrome, that doesn't mean everybody who experiences imposter syndrome also experiences social anxiety, or vice versa. People without social anxiety can also feel a lack of confidence or competence. Imposter syndrome often causes normally non-anxious people to experience anxiety when they are in situations where they feel inadequate. Here's the kicker. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. So if by this point you're like, dang, I am suffering with imposter syndrome, I didn't even know. What do I do now? How do I fix this? Next up, tips and tricks for those who are experiencing imposter syndrome. Number one, talk to somebody you trust, a mentor, a therapist, anybody who can give you a different perspective to your feelings so you don't have to deal with them alone. Number two, acknowledge your wins and your capabilities, okay? Take time to acknowledge even small wins. Celebrate your strengths, your assets, things that you bring to the table. It's okay to admit that you don't know everything. None of us do. But you know some things, and focus on that. Focus on your strong points and focus on your wins. Yeah, you might have fudged your resume a little bit, but you there now. You got the job, sis. So now all you got to do is play the part. Acknowledge your wins and capabilities and do not sleep on yourself. Number three, replace your thinking. Mindset is everything. I said it 1,000 times already and I will say it again. With every negative thought that you have, replace that with a positive thought. If you're there and you have a negative thought about yourself, you change that right away. Oh, I type so slow and I can never get this work done quick enough. Positive thought. I am very precise with how I do my work and I take my time. While everyone else is rushing, I am taking my time. Switch those thoughts. Any negative thought can be flipped into a positive, okay? And don't be afraid to focus on the good in situations and think of all the positive outcomes that can happen. Number four, practice confidence, okay? Start with daily affirmations. Tell yourself that you can do this. Tell yourself that you are strong, that you are smart, that you are capable. The more you tell yourself, the more you will believe it. Do not be an imposter in your own body. You know your strengths and you know what you bring to the table. Don't forget to acknowledge those things. Number 5 and number 6 kind of go hand in hand, but I'll start with number 5. Limit comparisons. Do not compare yourself to anybody else. Who cares what the next person is doing? It's about you and what you're doing for yourself, for your business, for your body, for your health. What are you doing for you? That brings me to number 6. Limit social media. Use social media with caution. Use it moderately, because we know the overuse of social media can be related to your feelings of inadequacy, okay? Shoot, listen, I know you get, you get on social media and everyone, you guys need to remember, social media is not real, okay? Everything is always perfect because what the heck? Everyone's going to show you their perfect side, okay? They're not going to show you their messy ass house. If you guys seen the rest of this basement, social media is not real. Use that sparingly, okay? Trust me, if you need to take your phone and put it in the next room so you can focus on something else, do that. Because honestly, social media ain't shroob. I mean, I love social media. I'm just going to put that out there. Disclaimer. But use it moderately. If you portray an image on social media that is not actually who you are or is like impossible to actually achieve, it's only going to make your imposter syndrome worse. So just be careful with what you're putting out there and what you're taking in on social media, because you can get lost in that, lost in the sauce, as we say back in my day. That's no good. Number 7, last but not least, 7, not this. This is 7. If you are really struggling, seek help. Do not. Okay, there is no shame in therapy. There is no shame in counseling, support groups. Listen, I am part of a mommy support group for mothers, for women who are struggling with their mental health or just need some friends. Hit me up. Support group up. Okay? There is no shame in my game. I felt like I needed support. I went out and I Googled mental health support near me. And I signed up for all the free Stop swearing. I signed up for all the free stuff. Okay? So, if you need additional help, you get it for you. All right? These are some famous people who have also struggled with imposter syndrome. Okay? First, Emma Watson. She said, "When I receive recognition for my acting, I feel incredibly uncomfortable. I tend to turn in on myself and I feel like an imposter." She's a star. Like, if these stars and famous people can suffer from imposter syndrome, believe you me, so can we regular people, okay? Number 2, Tom Hanks. No matter what we've done, there comes a point when you think, how did I get here? When are they going to discover that I am in fact a fraud and take everything away from me? Tom Hanks said that. Natalie Portman said, "I felt like there had been some mistake. Like I wasn't smart enough to be in this company. And that every time I opened my mouth, I would have to prove I wasn't just a dumb actress." And she said that on how she felt arriving at Harvard as a freshman in 1999. Like, Maya Angelou, here's another one. Maya Angelou. She said, "I have written 11 books. But each time I think, they're going to find out now. I run a game on everybody and they're going to find me out." Lady Gaga said, "I still feel like a loser kid in high school. I have to pick myself up and tell myself I'm a superstar every morning so I can get through this day and be for my fans what they need me to be." Listen, anyone can suffer from imposter syndrome, but the key is not letting it take over you. We all have the thoughts, the negative feelings, but you have to know what is true. Honestly, I can't even say the word true without thinking of my daughter. But anyways, you have to know what is true. Kick that imposter syndrome out of here and understand that you know what you bring to the table, right? And you deserve the seat. You deserve a seat at the table. If you're at the table, you deserve a seat. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Don't second guess yourself. If you're at the table, you deserve a seat. Okay? Don't forget to be kind with yourselves, everyone. And remember that you're not alone in this journey. So many people struggle with imposter syndrome. But the key is to go through life with faith over fear, right? You can't be scared. People are going to tell you you're a fraud. Who cares? Nobody. You're not a fraud. Honestly, we're all frauds. If I'm being honest, we are all frauds. We are all figuring it out. Okay? We all don't know everything. We all get a little anxious sometimes. We all put on a little bit of an act. But that's okay. That's life. That's humans. I hope that these helped. If you didn't know that you have imposter syndrome, I'm sorry. You know now. Try these tips that I've given in this episode. I hope that this has helped you see that you're not alone in this journey. And you just need to focus on your mindset and understand what you bring to the table. Like I said in my last episode, pull out your journal. Write these things down. Write your achievements, your accomplishments, your small wins, your big wins, your future goals. And you check those off one at a time. Imposter syndrome is not real. I'm joking. It is. It is. Of course it is. But it's all in your head. Realistically, no one cares if you're a fraud. We're all a little fraudy. Anyways, these are my tips and tricks to conquering imposter syndrome and not letting it affect you. I almost didn't even record this episode. I swear I say this every week. I almost didn't even record another episode. Okay. But here I am, not letting imposter syndrome take me out, because I know that I have something to say, and my experience being shared is going to help someone else. I suffer with imposter syndrome every day, but I'm working on it. I'm getting stronger, and my mindset is changing. It's changing. And that's the key. To change your mindset, to get 1% better every day. Not me quoting books. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning into my frequency. I'm your host, Sunnyinthe6. And make sure you leave a like, a comment, subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Sunnyinthe6 podcast, Instagram, TikTok, Sunnyinthe6 on Snapchat, everything else. Sunnyinthe6. You just search Sunnyinthe6 and you're going to find me. Okay? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you loved this episode. If you want to drop a comment below, also let me know what else you guys are struggling with, what else I should talk about. Keep the conversation flowing, and just thank you so much for being here. Until next week, Sunnyinthe6 out. Bye. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. This is your girl, Sunnyinthe6, and I'm here to talk about the tips and tricks of fighting imposter syndrome. It's Sunny in the 6. Thank you. Thank you very much. Did you get that?